Welcome to the Friday edition of Shortcuts for Your Soul. This is an ascension channel where your consciousness has an opportunity to get liberated from the confines of your personality. My name is William Michael Forbes. I'm a spiritual medium, a channel, and an intuitive life coach. And I have with me today the energy of a group called the Ascended, who want to talk about your freedom, and that your freedom begins by going within. So you can discover your freedom through self-exploration. And they're not talking about the kind of me mindset. No, this is not about me. This is about literally liberating yourself from your world mind. It's a very interesting thought too, liberating yourself from your world mind. The vast majority of people believe that they are who they've been taught to think they are. In fact, they said 90% of the people on the planet believe that your thoughts are you, and that your memories are you. No, those are information and experience. We're going to let them go in just a moment. I just want to make certain this is clear. There we go. So it's a beautiful brand new day on this planet. Good to see you guys. Thank you so much, Amanda. Good to see you here. So one of the things they said is most people are attached, deeply embedded in the constructed personality. That is the identity that you've been given by your environment vis-a-vis your 5 physical senses. Your 5 physical senses have been bombarded with information and stimulation from this external world. And you've created this construct, you call it your personality, in order to interface with this physical dimension. Many of you have become enslaved, trapped, lost in the thoughts, the memories, and the emotions that make up the personality structure that you use to interface with this physical dimension. With no ability to shift your awareness from the locus of that identity, in other words, to not know how to shift your awareness from being identified exclusively with your personality, can pose some very difficult times in your creative process. You may have been given beliefs that you are a certain way, and you may have accepted those beliefs and find yourself struggling through life, wondering why you are struggling through life. Let us assure you that your natural state is not one of struggle, it is one of creation. Struggle comes when you have beliefs, ideas, held in your mind that you are attached to accepting as the only evident truth, that you can find yourself in difficulty. For example, if you believe that your life is going to be miserable, then that is a belief that will cause you to suffer. If you believe you're never going to be happy, that is a belief that's going to cause you to suffer. If you believe that no one thinks nice things about you, then you will cause yourself to suffer. So this process of freedom coming from going within means you come to a point of self-awareness where you can begin to evaluate and examine what is in the structure of your mind. What is the information and the beliefs that are there? Many of you are trying to find relief from your suffering by running out into the world, hopefully to find somebody who will tell you something good and new about yourself, or that you will find some stimulation that will alter and change the way you feel. But these will all be temporary. Everything in this world is temporary, and the functions of time and space is a constant of change in this physical dimension. There's a constant of change in this physical dimension that you need to contend with. Learning how to recognize the thoughts, the emotions, the beliefs, the ideas that you harbor in your mind, and learning to distinguish yourself as the awareness and not believe in yourself as being those thoughts, those memories, or even those emotions, as your emotions are not who you are. Your emotions are the energetic responses to the ideas and information that you hold in your mind. They're the energetic responses to stimulation that you receive from the environment. But your emotions are not who you are. They're a measuring system, a barometer, so to speak, for how things can affect you in a way that is good or not so good. Many of you depend upon the world to tell you what to think and believe, as you were raised certainly in an environment where it appears to be that what you need does come from out there. And it does perhaps in the sense of food, but even that is now being disproven, that one can train their consciousness to live off energy and not exclusively on food. But for the most part, the vast majority of the people in this world believe that your fulfillment and happiness must be attained from the world, that you must get from the world a sense of well-being and fulfillment. And we're here to clarify that that sense of well-being and fulfillment that you seek from the world will be temporary. The place to establish a sense of well-being that is significantly more permanent and long-lasting is by learning to go within, to pull yourself away from the distractions of the world, to begin to evaluate what is in your mind that serves you, what is in your mind that does not serve you, to train yourself to learn to differentiate between this self called your mind and this self called the body, to learn to make that distinction. And you have not learned to make that distinction because the outside world is a great distraction. It keeps you bound in this smell and this touch and this taste and this sensation and this feeling. The outside world is a distraction from who you really are. Likewise, though, the outside world can become a reflection, and it really is a reflection of who you are in terms of what you attach yourself to and to believing. That if you believe certain things about yourself, that you will be causing certain effects in your experienced reality. But what would happen if all of the thoughts, all of the memories, all of the emotions that you hold in your mind, if you could consider the possibility that you could place all the thoughts, memories, emotions in your mind aside? Let us say you could do this for 5 minutes. You put them all aside. It does not matter what side you put them to. You can put them to the other side. You can put them above you, but to put them out of your way for a little while. To put your thoughts, your memories, your emotions, to put them aside. And what you will have left is yourself. Not the self that is made up by the world, but the self that you actually are. You can begin to experience who you are as a spiritual entity and not simply a biological and informational entity. To put your thoughts, your memories, your emotions aside for a little while and begin to experience what you are as something that's unique and distinct from the noise of the thinking mind, the anticipations of the future, the sufferings of the past. To put all of that aside for 5 minutes, to allow yourself to remember who you are. Going within, away from this world, closing your eyes, your ears, closing the world away, closing the door to the world and going within, and then placing all that you have in your mind very gently to one side. There are many of you that can actually do this, and some of you are actually doing that right now, and experiencing the stillness that occurs, experiencing the peace that is your natural state, experiencing a clarity, experiencing being undisturbed. And once you begin to acquire such experience about who you really are, that you are this being of stillness, a being of intelligence, a being of creation, a being of peace, a being of excitation, very different than the being that you've been conditioned to believe you are from the world. And there are many things in this world that loan themselves to instructing you that there's this thing they call the matrix. You have heard of it? Well, that is this thing called the construct of your personality. It is all those thoughts, those memories, those emotions, those anticipations that you harbor in your mind that you attach yourself to all the time. That is the matrix. To extract yourself out of the matrix means to train your mind and your body and your senses to be still. That you are no longer distracted by them. Consider these words. If you are hearing them right now, if your thoughts could become silent for 10 minutes, how would you feel? You can do this. You must go with it. You must pull yourself away from the world. You must find a place by yourself where you can be undistracted. When you get proficient enough, it doesn't matter where you are. You can simply be what you are wherever you are, and that's the natural way to be. But you have to go within. You have to train the matrix of your mind to be still, to be quiet, to be your servant. And when you train your mind to be still, to be quiet, to be your servant, you begin to experience yourself as you truly are, and not through the lens of the conceptions, ideas, and beliefs that have been impregnated into your mind and to which you've often found yourself attached. So you go within and you quiet this system of thinking down, of remembering, of anticipation, and you let yourself rest. Put the thoughts, the memories, the emotions aside, and you will discover who you really are. You'll begin to feel yourself as the energetic being that you are. And how you can function knowing who you are is very different than functioning according to the way you've been trained or conditioned to believe you should be or do. There's a level of sensitivity that you have as a spiritual entity that you do not necessarily have as a physical body or as a personality, believing that you are just a body or you just are a personality. There's a different self that begins to emerge into your material world of expression. There are many fascinating things in this world that you can experience and indulge in. But to lose yourself in them is a great tragedy. Albeit temporary, it is still a tragedy. But if you can begin to remember who you are, you might start to discover the things that are really important to you to be and do in this world. And not simply be overwhelmed with the ideas and considerations that other, you can be this and you can be this and you could do this and you could do that. And you try to be this and you try to be that and you try to do this and you try to do that and you are not fulfilled and happy. Then you must step away from that you've been told to believe is going to make you happy and consider what truly will bring me to that place of joy and happiness. You are your own being. There are ways that this can seem somewhat difficult to comprehend unless you experience it, but to place your thoughts, your memories, your emotions to one side. Sufficiently enough for enough time to experience yourself as the being that you are, independent of thought, independent of memory, independent of emotion, independent of biology, and yet able to alter and change thought, biology, and create experience. From the perspective of your being, you have an autonomy over your mind and body that you may not currently realize you do have. But you do. You have this wonderful, wonderful spirit that you are. that you can know this aspect of your being, that you can begin to awaken it even now, just in the willingness to put your thoughts, your memories, emotions inside. Because there's a part of you that when you're not encapsulated in the framework of the personality that's been constructed for you, when you're not encapsulated in that you can begin to evaluate what is really good for you, what is really good for your body, what is really good for your mind, what is really good for you to do and be. Many of you try wading through the information in your mind to figure out who you are, but most of that is not of your own choosing. But going within, this is where your freedom begins. You can become sensitive to the quality of thought in a way that you cannot be sensitive to the quality of thought when you are identified with certain thoughts. If you are identified with certain thoughts, then it's very difficult to evaluate their quality. If you believe you're a certain way, then it's difficult for you to evaluate that belief if you believe that's what you are. But the moment you are able to evaluate a thought, you can then make conscious discernment about how that thought may or may not serve you. You can make that discernment. We wanted this to be very simple, to understand that this thing that so many of you talk about, this matrix, you are not the matrix. The matrix is the informational personality structure you've been given, the things you're being told to accept as true or false, without proper reason or question. And without that proper reason or question, you cannot change your thoughts. You will remain subject to them. But to step away from your thoughts deliberately and intentionally each and every day, to step away from your thinking mind, your remembering self, your anticipatory mind, to commune with the being that you are, will bring forth the revelation of your consciousness as it naturally is, and not the way that has been fabricated to be by the dictates of the environment around you. And of course your body seems very real to you, and it is. It certainly is a physical thing that you exist through, but it is still not you. It operates under your direction and instruction, or it operates under the direction and instruction of other people giving it information. Because your body has two sources of information. It has the external world and the internal world. Most of the internal world is based upon what the external world has given you. But you are a consciousness, a spirit, that can alter and change information in your mind and thereby change the matrix of your mind. You can direct and recreate the matrix to be what it needs to be for you, instead of trying to fit into the matrix that's been imposed upon your mind. But it begins with that first step of being willing to move away from your thinking, your remembering, and your anticipating sufficiently enough that you begin to experience your own being again as something that's unique and distinct from the fabricated personality of this world, from the physical flesh in which you are experiencing this world through. To reconnect to the being that you are allows you to restore yourself to the function of creation that is your natural reason for coming here to develop that. You came here to develop the practice of creation. Every one of you that have come here came here to develop the practice of creation. It is why you were made in the image and likeness of a great creator, that you might emulate and become that function of creation. Albeit you may find it difficult to consider that you can create stars and planets and galaxies and dimensions. You are where you are in the process of creation as you are now. But you need to begin the process of awakening. You need to begin it. And in order to begin it, you must step out of the structure of a personality that does not accurately reflect your true nature. Put your thoughts, your memories, your emotions aside for a little while. Most of them are not even yours anyway. It's the baggage and the parcels and packages you've been given by others. Your senses stimulated repeatedly again and again to believe and accept certain ideas. And we are doing the exact same thing here and now. We're extending ideas and beliefs and information to you that you may accept or reject. Ideas and beliefs that will undoubtedly affect you in very precise and specific ways with which we are very familiar. But as a sentient, awake consciousness, you can discern what is good to have in your store. You can make those discernments. What is good to have in your mind? What is not good to have in your mind? But you cannot do that until you understand that you can actually place the mind aside. You can put thoughts out of your way. You can push memories aside. You can be in the present moment. You can begin to effect a deliberate and conscious change on the structure of the personality that's based upon the biology that's been influenced by this physical dimension, the sights, the sounds, the smells, the touches, and the tastes that have loaned themselves, along with the thoughts and ideas and information that have loaned themselves also to the construction of your personality. That is not who you really are. It is just a construct of this environment. You know, you look at the characters of these movies you have watched, and each of the characters is an aspect of yourself that you need to recognize as true. You are the chosen one already. But you must understand the distinction between yourself, your thoughts, your memories, your emotions, that you may begin to awaken and liberate yourself from the unnecessary suffering that has been conditioned into your system of mind and body. And the moment you can begin to consciously make a distinction between yourself, your thoughts, your memories, your emotions, and your anticipations, you can then begin the process of reorganizing your mind to be a more accurate reflection of who you are as an unlimited creative potential. But that is a different aspect of this communication. But you are free to be free if you so choose. And you are also free to be enslaved to your thoughts, to your memories, to your emotions. You're free to be enslaved to the senses of the body. You're free to be in the matrix and remain there for lifetime upon lifetime upon lifetime. And you are also free to leave the matrix, to remodel the system of the matrix of your mind, to put something new into the system that is not there before. That's what you came here to do, to assert your function of creation, to establish something very unique in this world that only you can establish. It's why you came here, to learn to do that. The deeper your suffering, the further away you are from the establishment of your purpose. The deeper your suffering and pain, the further you have wandered away from who you are. The closer you come to who you are, the more certainly you will establish what you came here to be and do in the world. It will get easier. It will get easier if you begin now to learn to place your thoughts, your memories, your emotions, your anticipations aside, to reconnect with the essential nature of who and what you are as a spiritual consciousness, as an entity, as a manifestation of divinity. And even if these words do not resonate with any meaning in your mind, they are true. And you will discover that when you realize you can actually put your thoughts, your memories, and your emotions all to one side and still be aware that you are aware and still say, I still exist. I am. I am not my thoughts. I am not my memories. I am not my emotions. And in that position of awareness of what you are, in that moment, you are now the creator. You can select and choose thoughts. You can generate and stimulate emotion into function. You can change the energy of emotion from one state into another instead of remaining subjective to the pangs and aches and fears and guilts and shames. That you can change the function of emotion in your life as an act of your will, as an act of creation. For will and creation are one and the same thing. The act of one's will is an act of creation. Cool. Good morning, everybody. Hi. Hello, Bridget. Good morning to you. Hi, Blaine. Question Blaine's asking, I have been kicked out of my charting software today. Was that divine timing, and what does it mean? Hi. Well, it simply means it's time for something new. It's time for something new. Nothing real can be threatened. Nothing real can be threatened. Wow. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Hi. Hi. Hi, William, and everyone. Blessings of the greatest. Love to all. Love to you too, Danielle. Hello, Irene. Good to see you. Welcome. Thank you for the message. Blue Sky says, I'm still struggling to understand what took place with the Mandela effect. Stop struggling with it. Put your struggle aside. Put the gyrations you're going through to try and figure it out, put it aside, relax, and ask to be given clarity. It's within you to acquire that clarity, but you are struggling in your attempt to understand. Stop struggling. You know, I've been learning all kinds of things. I don't lose anything. I'm very fortunate. I don't lose things. And with that understanding and belief, that's what happens. So I misplaced the card for the fitness center I go to, and I misplaced the card, and it's been about 5 or 6 days, and I'm not concerned about it all because I don't lose anything. And I walk into the center today, and a woman comes up and says, "Here, we found your card." It was never lost. The moment you give up the struggle with the understanding that you will understand that what needs to happen shall come to pass, when you come to that awareness, it shall come to pass. You are both the creator and the experience of the creation. Every one of us. But put the struggle aside and request the answer. Like literally, Blue Sky, sit and request, I'm now ready to receive the answer. Make the decision, I'm now ready to receive the answer. What is the specific message for me to meditate on to Kuthumi, Yogananda, Serapis Bey, or Babaji are coming to my awareness? Please explain for clarity and guidance. Well, sometimes they will come, when you got beings like Babaji and Yogananda and beings like that where there's more than one of them coming together, go into your meditation. Get your body relaxed, your mind quiet, and then just ask them to give you the information that you received. Just say, I'm open and receptive to knowing what it is I need to know at this time. Being open is essential to receiving information and guidance from your angels, your guides, your ascended masters, multidimensional beings, God, Jesus, whoever you're going to receive your information from. Being open and receptive is most important to it. But I'm getting words for you. Playtime. Remember playtime. Remember playtime. Don't get so serious. Okay, remember that, Doctor. Playtime. Hi. Who is my best guide to communicate with? What is my problem that I can't hear divine message? Master Saint Germain is very strong with you. It's not that you have a problem. It says you a lot of people want to hear the guides and angels, and you're trying, you're not hearing. It's not because there's something wrong with you. You have to train your mind and body to be out of the way, so they're not in the way, acting as a filtration system. And then you have to train yourself to be open and receptive to receiving. In our masterclass series, we teach people simple techniques that you can apply where you can begin to sense and feel the presence of your guides, because they're just like real individuals. They are individuals. They're just not necessarily in physical form. Some of them are in physical form, but they're not necessarily in physical form, and those are the ones that you're referring to. So you need to train your sensitivity, first and foremost, to connect with them and to become sensitive to when you are connecting with them, and this way of sensing their presence around you. You have to train yourself to do that. You have to train your awareness to perceive different strata of energy. Because we're so used to perceiving sight, sound, touch, taste, and smell, that's easy. But to shut your mind and body off sufficiently enough that you can perceive non-physical realms of information, the energy of Master Saint Germain is very beautiful. You know, when you can tune into his energy, you can feel it. The energy of Master Jesus is very humbling. And each guide, each angel, they are individuals. They have their own way of interacting with people. And they'll have their own way of interacting with you. Your guides and angels can only connect with you on the level you are able to receive. If you're in anger and you're fear and you're desperate, you're not going to connect to them that easily. Although there's been instances where you can say, I need help. And even if you're afraid or angry, if your call for help is really clear and consistent, they'll intervene. They'll help. I've had it happen many times. So will you. But there's nothing wrong with you. You need to train your internal apparatus of perception, clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, claircognizance, your non-physical senses. Everybody's got their physical senses trained. Sight, sound, touch, taste, and smell. You have non-physical senses. Everybody does. You have non-physical senses. Clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, claircognizance. That let you perceive and experience the non-physical realm of information. So there's a physical dimension and there's a non-physical dimension. 5 senses for the physical world. The 4 spiritual senses for the non-physical world, where you can communicate your guides, your angels, your loved ones who've left the physical body. You can communicate with God, the yogis. You can communicate with the devas. You can communicate with the lesser deities, angels, archangels, when you open up these other senses. And you have to train yourself to open those senses up, because you've been untrained by the world. You've been so entrained in sight, sound, touch, taste, and smell that you have not developed, or you've lacked development of those other senses. Sign up for Masterclass 101 Awakening. It starts November the 2nd, and you'll learn the simple, fundamental steps of how to begin to open up those internal senses. You know, those senses are like, everybody experiences them in different ways, like gut feeling. Some people experience it as a knowing. Some people experience it as a sound, or they hear something, they feel something. These other senses, you have to develop them. They're like, you had to develop your hands and feet to move. You had to develop what you heard. You had to develop these things. Hearing, sound, smell, touch, taste with the body had to be developed. Your spiritual senses have to be developed. And they're very simple, practical, easy ways to train you to train your senses. Right? Thank you for the question. Hi. Good to see you, Jasmine. Glad you made it. Thank you so much. I appreciate the hearts. Somebody's asking, what are my gifts, William? Can you see mine? The gift that is strongest with you is the gift of gentleness and compassion. But these are not passive skills. These are active skills. You want to develop those. Thank you so much for subscribing. I really appreciate it. I released someone with love and grace, then had a dream about him that they were cleaning my house. That's perfect. When you release people and events from your life with love and grace, when you consciously say, I release this person with love and grace, and you mean that in all sincerity, you're going to experience a reaction and response, whether it's in the form of dreams or an actual event in how they don't show up in your life anymore. But that individual, in releasing them, it's clearing your mind. That's quite simple. You release them with love and grace, your mind clears. They clear your mind. It's a metaphor for what you've done. Right? That happens in the mind a lot. Metaphor. Great, good job. It's nice to be able to release people. Hi, William. Thank you for the beautiful message. What does David need to hear from me the most? You know, your happiness is designed that it would be you. That you are to delight in the being of your being. That you came into this world to articulate an expression that no other can articulate in the way that you can. And so many of you are seeking that sense of fulfillment from others, expecting that they or them or that situation or that food or that thing will make you feel a certain way. And it is very futile, because you are already the way you need to be, but you have to actualize that. It has to develop. You have to express and become that. But so many of you are seeking happiness and fulfillment from the world exclusively. And yet you came to bring a gift to the world, to give to the world. The challenge that so much of humanity is facing right now is because everybody's trying to get from the world, and everybody's forgotten how to give to the world. And every great civilization has failed because of that shift in consciousness not being corrected in a timely enough fashion. Your get mentality will be the downfall of your civilization again unless you shift it to the give. And the vast majority of the people in this world are actually quite giving. But you have these individuals that are quite happy to get. And they're creating all the misery that you experience in this world. But do not expect fulfillment from another. Do not demand or try to predict or manipulate or orchestrate how another should be for you, how you can make them be the way you want them to be. Do not do that. Be your best self. Speak from your heart. What would you love to say to this one? Then say it. And if it is not accepted, at least you'll have said what is in your heart. Instead of trying to make sure you say the right thing so that you are not rejected. But when you are truly in alignment with who you are, then the most wonderful things will begin to happen around you. You'll attract the most incredible people when you are truly in alignment with who you are. Well, I do know that position. I really do. Hi, Jasmine. Good to see you. Oh, you're very welcome. Good morning. Thank you, William. Which kind of crystal is most tuned in with me? I get the double terminated Lemurian crystals. You want to get a double terminated Lemurian crystal, and it's the one they're showing me is about that size. So I'd say it will weigh about probably 500 grams. It'd be like a half a pound or a pound of this double terminated Lemurian crystal. It's a pretty good size. So look that up. Double terminated Lemurian crystal. Hi. So happy for you. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. I've been experiencing golden particles of energy around and inside me this past days. What are they? The next time you experience those golden particles of energy, become them. It's a very, very high vibrational energy. And do not see yourself as separate. As you experience them, allow yourself to feel. As opposed to object and subject, become that which you observe. Let yourself move into the energy of being the golden particles. Then you'll have your answer in a very delightful and wondrous way. You want to go into being the energy of the golden particles, to know them. That's how you know them. Because you're asking us to tell you, how can I know what these are? And we're saying, as long as there is subject and object, then you cannot know, because the two are separate. Become them when you experience them. Do not just observe them, become them. And then you will know their function and purpose for you. And your function and purpose for them. Hi. Someone saying, thank you, William. I used what I learned from you to help with my nightmares. Well, that's wonderful. Let us know how it helped you, Kathy. Tell us how it helped you with your nightmares. Hi. Thank you so much. Yeah, if you guys want, you can also, if you want a certain subject or something that you want us to, a particular individual you want me to channel, let me know, and we'll set something up for that and make it one of our daily shows. Yes, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Is this a cult leader? Hello, Momo. Hello, Momo Bao. No cults here. We're all leaders. Let's look at the word. I'm being told to address this. So a cult. Let's why don't we look up what the meaning of a word cult is? Because if I remember correctly, a cult is any structured system of learning. But let's just check this out. We should do that. Let's do that right now. Let's see, meaning of the word cult. Search. So here's what the word cult means. Okay? So I got a whole bunch of messages coming in. Just a second, guys. So a cult, a system of religious veneration and devotion directed towards a particular figure or object. The cult of Saint Ola, or the cult of Zeus, right? People honoring Zeus. It's also considered a relatively small group of people having religious beliefs or practices regarded by others as strange or sinister. A network of Satan worshipping cults. A misplaced or excessive admiration for a particular person or thing. A cult of personality surrounding the leaders. So yeah, there's no cult here. No religion here. We're not devoted to any particular individuals. So, no cult here. Pam is asking, is there a message from Spirit, please? Yes, but I'm being told that the message that you've requested includes everybody else. Very important in these next few weeks to stay properly grounded. Get your feet on the ground for at least 15 minutes every day, like real ground, no shoes, bare feet if you can. If you can't put your feet on the ground, then put your hands against a tree. There are ascension energies coming in from the sun. Science calls them gamma rays, cosmic rays, coronal mass ejections, X-ray particles, proton flux. There's all kinds of scientific names for this energy that comes into the planet from the sun. But this energy is affecting everyone and everything, and has done so for billions of years. So in these next few weeks, there's a huge influx of these energies. Whatever emotions you harbor in your body, they're going to be amplified. There's going to be an increase in physiological symptoms in your body. Symptoms like heart palpitations, ringing of the ears, sudden fatigue, dizziness. When those symptoms come, do not go into fear. Get your feet on the ground, because this energy is coming in and affecting everyone and everything. They're called ascension energies. How do you think new life forms get manifested on this planet? There's something that alters and changes genetic structure that causes variations in creation of form. So you really want to, especially with this high energy coming in, make sure you're going out and grounding. If your heart gets active or you're feeling dizzy or anything, stop, pause, take a deep breath, and connect your attention to the sun and just go, thank you. Just be grateful for the energy you're receiving. Whatever you hold in your mind or heart is going to be amplified. If you're holding love in your heart, it's going to be amplified. You're holding anger in your heart, it's going to be amplified. You're holding judgment and fear, they'll be amplified. Whatever we hold in our hearts is going to be amplified, more so in these next few weeks, particularly because of the activities that are happening and the energies that are intruding into this planet from the sun. So yeah, you want to go out and ground 15 minutes. Make certain you do that today. And especially if you start feeling like strange sensations in the chest or intense ring in the ears, get your feet on the ground. Ground. If you want to know more about grounding, there's a wonderful video on YouTube called Earthing. I highly recommend you watch that. And then you'll get the actual science behind what we're saying about going out and grounding and why it's so important for you to do that. David's asking, hi Michael, who were the Tuatha De Danann? If I tune into their energy, well, I just feel this incredible joy, of this feeling of a profound devotion to love. This is what I'm tuning. When I tune into that frequency of those names you just gave me, I get this profound sense of devotion to love. That's the function of who they are. Devotion to love. I'll have to look them up after too. Now I'm curious. Yes. Somebody else is saying in the background, they were the bringers of the dawn. The light of the soul being brought back to man. Any advice about my mom? Well, I get again, Wei, what was just said about, good to hear from you, Wei. It's been a long time. It's important you understand that every single person on this planet, doesn't matter what your position in society or wealth, or it doesn't matter. Every single human being is literally being affected by this energy coming into the planet right now. It doesn't matter how deep down you bury yourself on the earth or what you enclose yourself in. This energy reaches everywhere, all people, in very unique and different ways. But everybody's affected by it. Get your mom outside. Get her on the earth. You know, if you can't get her on the earth, then get her a nice hot, a nice warm salt bath. But there's different ways you can ground her. Certain smells can help her ground. Meditation can help her ground. But if I tune into her, yeah, be joyful, Wei. Be joyful. She loves you very, very much. Again, if you got really personal questions you want to ask, I would be very remiss in my duty to not say, book a reading with me. If you got a question that's really important to you, or questions, then book a reading with me. Go to my website, williammichaelforbes.com, and book a reading. And while you're there, check out our masterclass series, which we'll be starting our masterclass 101, begins November the 2nd, and we have a total of 4 different masterclasses that sequentially elevate your consciousness up from simple biological body, mind, personality consciousness to knowing who you are as a spiritual entity. But yeah, Wei, she needs grounding, big time. A lot of people are going to need that in the next few days. A lot of people. Hello, Rue. Good to see you. May I get a message from the insight I received this morning? Sorry, I just had several things happen at once. Yeah. I'm being told to tell you it's going to come in the next 4 hours. The understanding and insight that was being given to you will be clear in the next few hours. Very clear. Very, 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 very clear. 4 hours. Hello, Deruz. I wonder why I'm so excited about inner Earth civilizations. Did I spend only life in past lives? There are inner civilizations on this planet. There are civilizations that have risen and fallen through the transformation and change of consciousness on this planet. There are species and beings in places in the earth and around the earth that still have not been discovered by our species. And we're about to go through it. We are actually in the middle of a massive transformation and shift in consciousness right now. Right now. We are in a massive and profoundly incredible shift in consciousness right now. We truly are. And that shift in consciousness can be based in your love, or it can be based in your fear. If your consciousness shift is based in love, then you'll experience one reality. If your consciousness shift is based in fear, you'll experience another reality. Because it's only those two energies that we work with in creation, love or fear. That's it. There's only two energies that we work with, love or fear. And each will produce its own experiential reality for us. Choose love. I highly recommend choosing love. Hello, Mikhail. Thank you for your presence. Do I need to be involved with my dad's estate liquidations? Will it be fairly divided if I don't stay involved? Now, you already know the answer to that question. They're saying you already know that there will be problems. That the focus of your love and fairness are necessary for this. The focus of your love and fairness is necessary for this. The process of your father leaving has been difficult energetically for members of your family. And a lot of people misinterpret the stuff as a way of holding on to that person. Your dad loves all of you in the way that he knows how to love all of you. And I would encourage you to invite your siblings to consider connecting to the spirit of their father within themselves, not the stuff, but feel the love with which he wanted you to receive what he left behind. Right? But yeah, you in all fairness, you need to let be there so that your guidance and love will really help people out a lot. Okay, hang on. How can you tell which one you are in? Congratulations, I know you are. We're all doing the best we can. Wanda, how can you tell which one you are in? This is a great question. If I'm reading it correctly and understanding it, I'm hearing this. If you are in fear, you are not in love. If you are in love, you are not in fear. You can know the difference. You can always know the difference between love and fear. Love asserts life to be a beautiful and wonderful thing. Fear asserts that life will be suffering. But generally, you'll know the one you're in right now. Yeah, you're pretty balanced. They're telling me that you're actually pretty balanced in your energy. You don't swing. You don't swing to either. You're very in like a Buddhic type of energy where you're on the middle path. They're saying that you sit more on the middle path. You're not doing the this or this, right? You're doing the middle path. But if you want to go deep and do a deep dive in that, sign up for Masterclass 101, Awakening. Thank you so much for following. Hello, Wanda. Hello, Sharon. Good to see you here. Hi, William. When I ask for more guidance or knowledge, when I get ringing in my ears, it fades quickly. That's not because there's anything wrong, Sharon. A lot of people are asking for guidance. They get sequential numbers. They can get a funny feeling in their body. They can get a ringing in the ears. You can get a hunch or an inspiration. But what happens with most people is they have not got enough training to tune into the vibration of the message. Most people get caught in the sense, I'm getting an answer. I hear the ringing in my ears. So you get caught in the sensation and you miss the information. So the next time you get that ringing in your ears, don't get hooked on the sensation in the ears. Ask the question, what is the feeling of this information? What is the feeling? Not what the sensation is. What is this information feeling like? And with practice, it's like you start to interpret it differently as you get more experience. As you're not getting caught in sensation, which is a body function, then the vibration that transmitted that sensation to the body is what you want to hear. You want to know the information behind the vibration, right? We have simple ways we teach people in Masterclass 101 how to tune into and interpret information from your guides, your angels, ascended masters, and other multidimensional beings. William, does Last Nada have something to share? I'm getting the song Painted Ladies. Ooh, feeling good, mama. Painted Ladies. I don't know the full song, but that's what I'm hearing play in my head right now. Ooh, feeling good, mama. Cool. And you have a wonderful day today too, Bob. Yes. Please do that. Hello from Northern Ontario, Lena. Good to see you here. My life has changed since following William and his teachings. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for that too, Kathy. I can't take full responsibility for the teachings. I can take full responsibility for allowing that information to flow through me. We are all channels for information. Everybody is a spiritual medium. Everybody has the capacity to gain access to knowledge and information outside of what they've been taught to believe by the world. If you learn how to open up your clairvoyance, your clairaudience, your clairsense, your claircognizance, and there's a process in that. It doesn't just it doesn't happen just like that. You have to train those senses to be functional, just like you had to train your body to walk or to talk or how to eat or how to tie shoes. You have to train these other senses to be active, and we have processes in our masterclass that teach you simple ways of doing that, activating those senses. But that's wonderful. Hi. Hello there. Daniel's asking, is in Christian religion they have talked about 3 days of darkness? Is this all true, or it has a different meaning? This is an absolutely exciting and fascinating question. This 3 days of darkness is not a bad, scary thing. It's a hint. It's a hint at the process of awakening. And what's meant by that? Okay, your personality, your thinking mind is blah, blah, blah all the time. It's thinking about this, thinking about that. What about tomorrow? What about today? I remember this. I'm feeling this. And your thinking mind is going like this all the time. And it's busy, 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 busy. And it keeps you exhausted. Most people are exhausted by the end of the day because their mind is going. Then they go to bed and their mind is still going on. That 3 days of darkness is a transition in consciousness from the world self to the spiritual self. That when you can get your mind and your body quiet, calm, and peaceful. When you can get your mind and body quiet, calm, and peaceful. It's like going into this darkness. And there's a very fascinating thing about this darkness. Because if you look in Genesis chapter 1, where it talks about in the beginning, everything was dark. Darkness was, I'm paraphrasing, but everything was dark and all was waste and void. And darkness was upon the face of the deep. So darkness. At the very beginning of all creation, there's this darkness. And then a voice spoke. In Christian mythology, it says, God spoke and said, let there be light. And then there was a light. So that darkness is a movement in consciousness from one state of being to a new state of being. And again, hearing the words and understanding the concept are very different things, because the experience is different than the language. And that happens a lot. You can hear certain words, but the experience of that which you hear is different than the words you hear. But that place of darkness, even Jesus went through it, right? Buddha went through it. Buddha went into nothingness. The great achievement of Buddha was nothingness, right? So, yeah, it's a beautiful thing. It's not a bad thing. Have no fear. Oh, thank you, David. I never knew that. It's wonderful to know. Hi. Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. Irene is asking, I was told I have tinnitus. Do you think the ringing is something else? Well, we found that people, again, a lot of people think they got tinnitus. There are ascension energies coming into this planet that have symptoms: ringing ears, heart palpitations, hot flashes, low energy, high energy. There are a multitude of symptoms of these energies affecting all of us. And if you misinterpret them, you can affect your physiology. If you get afraid, you'll affect your body in a certain way. If you misunderstand something, you can affect yourself in a not so good way. But these ascension energies are happening for a lot of people. The ringing of the ears, the accelerated energy, a burst of energy and then suddenly low energy. There's all kinds of symptoms to these ascension energies coming to the planet. Grounding is so important. Putting your body on the ground, your bare feet on the ground, and electrically allowing the body to recalibrate. The body's from this world. You're not from this world. The body's from this world. But the body has certain things it needs in order to function optimally. Electrical balance is important. The balance and flow of electrical energy through the body, which you can get restored through grounding, as well as the type of food you eat can alter and change the electrical potential in your body, the type of things you consume, the activities you do or don't do. Your body's an electrical instrument, and a remarkable one at that. Yep. I think we have time for one more question, everybody. And then I'm going to have to skedoodle. The world is calling. Hi. I'm going to scroll down here. Got a bunch more questions here. Yes, it's very true. Your body is only a transmitting and receiving station. It can transmit information to this world. It can receive information from this world. You are a transmitting and receiving station. You can receive information from this world. You can transmit information in this world. You can receive information from the other dimensional realms of information. And you can transmit information there. Where do you think new ideas come from? Your thoughts are in an invisible world. There's an invisible world. Did you know that? That you live in. And there's a visible world that you experience. And you can transmit and receive information omnidirectionally. From the invisible to the visible, from the visible to the invisible. You can transmit information to and fro. Hi. You're very welcome. I'm glad you heard that, Rose. Hi. I got one more question I take from TikTok. Oh, no questions, but a sentiment. Will I move into the blue farmhouse? If I tune in, I get a strong yes for that you will move into the blue farmhouse. I get a strong yes for that. But I'm also being told to tell you, if you go into doubt about it, you'll create delay. If you go into doubt about it, you'll create delay. Tomorrow, I hope you'll join me at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Toronto, where we'll be doing our meditation segment of our weekly show. And we will. I'm told that Master Buddha will be coming in, and we're going to be doing a meditation on being in the present moment. It's going to be very, very, very focused. So come only if you're going to participate in the meditation. We'll have a short 5-minute brief discussion about the process, and then we're going to go into like a 7 to 10 minute guided meditation. And please join me for that tomorrow. Their meditations through me are amazing. Some of the best meditations in the world I've ever experienced have come through the meditations they've done with me and with others. So come join me tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You're very, very welcome. Thank you for coming. Remember, like, subscribe, share. I really appreciate the support. Get this information to other people because they need it. People are trapped in the illusion that they're just a body-mind. And it's a horrible way to live. Unless your mind and body is really good, you got a good mind and a good body, then it can be very difficult. But the vast majority of people aren't living like that. Most people are struggling with their minds and struggling with their body, and they believe they are their mind and body. Share this information with people so they get liberated from that illusion. I want to wish you all much love. I'll look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Bye, everybody. Take care.